So, in that 4-game stretch, where I'm sure the Carolina faithful have talked about this nonstop, that 4-game stretch where Kyle Allen was playing good football, you guys were winning games. There started, and this was before obviously we knew that Cam Newton was going on IR. There started to be some articles posted about like, oh, is Cam going to get traded? There was a big rumor that he was going to get traded to the Broncos and that the Broncos were like aggressively trying to trade for him. And, Cam Newton over the years in Carolina, like he has his ebbs and flows, right? There's years where it's like, yes, you are amazing. Like, you could do things that other players in the NFL or other QBs can't do. And it's incredible. Then there's like the poor decision making, but do you count like, strap Cam with that, or the fact that he barely had anyone to throw the ball to? Like there's like, been some, like I said, ebbs and flows on the offense. And so where's kind of your stance? Obviously, Newton's out for the year. Where's your stance on him remaining as your franchise quarterback? Like, is that one of the things that are like, yes, like we're going to keep on rolling with Cam. He's our best chance to win. Or like, are you like, hey, if we could potentially trade him, obviously not right now because the deadline's passed, but kind of what are your thoughts on Cam?
Yeah, I mean, it's super tough because there's a lot of nuances to the situation. And I mean, if you look at Cam, in essence, he's been a very polarizing character since he's come into the league, especially among our own fans. Coming into the league, we thought we were going to draft Andrew Luck that year. Andrew Luck decided to stay in college, so we decided to go with Cam Newton. Already half the fan base didn't want Cam Newton. Mm-hmm. I've been a big fan of Cam ever since he's been in the league. He's taken us to the playoffs, I think, 4 times. He's taken us to a Super Bowl. We obviously didn't win, but, I mean, that's a lot more success than we've had in a really long time. I think the situation as far as us keeping him, if he's 100% healthy, I mean, there's no chance. I mean, there's no question that you don't keep this guy. I mean, he's an amazing talent. There's no other quarterback like him. I mean, I guess you could say Lamar Jackson's probably the closest, except Lamar Jackson's like way faster, but Cam's way bigger. He's like a linebacker out there. If he's 100% healthy coming out of the offseason, I mean, there's no question we keep him. The real issue I have that with the people that want to get rid of him after this season is we don't really have another option besides him. I mean, we have Kyle Allen, like we've been talking about, who's been playing well, but he's not, at this moment, he is not a franchise quarterback. He's not a starting quarterback. He's amazing for a backup. We've been winning games with him, but it's not because of him.
Yeah.
It's because of our defense and Christian McCaffrey. So what I think personally, and what I think is the smartest move, is we keep him. We owe him less than $20 million if we keep him his last year. We see what he's got left. If he doesn't have anything left, then we figure out a way to move on. But I feel like it's a little short-sighted to think about getting rid of him now. We won't have a high draft pick. I mean, like we just talked about, we're on the verge of possibly making the playoffs. So with a mid-round draft pick, there's no way we're getting a quarterback in the draft. Kyle Allen, I don't think, is the answer for now. He might be in the future. And Will Greer definitely isn't the answer. So I personally think we roll with him and just see what we have,
Yeah, and I think you touched on something of like this, like the short-sightedness, right? Because like NFL fans in particular, and like NFL media is like, what have you done for me lately, right? So like you start 0-2, and Cam's playing hurt, obviously, but you start 0-2, and then here comes his backup who wins 4 straight, and it's kind of just like, oh, Cam Newton's already old news. Yeah, let's trade him to the Broncos. And you're just like, wait, what? Like, again, like you said, like he has accolades. He has accomplishments for your team. And, if you're looking at it and you put it perfectly, like you're winning games, but it's not because of Kyle Allen. You're winning it because you have an amazing running back there, and when your defense plays well, they're playing really, really well. And, it's just a matter of, okay, you're trying to assemble the best team possible, but yeah, I mean, I don't think Cam Newton is going to, sit. You said next year's his contract year, right?
Exactly.
So, like, I doubt he's going to sit for the year, and hold out, so you play him, you see what he got, and, it might be a Joe Flacco situation not comparing their ability, don't worry, but this idea of you're like, hey, it's like a prove it year. You know, you obviously have people within the fan base who are obviously against Cam Newton, and you have a backup QB who's coming in and playing well, and especially those voices will get louder if you guys wind up making the playoffs, and it'll be kind of like, all right, well, this is your contract year, go prove them wrong or not, you know, and kind of take a guess on that.
Yeah, I think the big issue, like you said, is it's a what have you done for me lately league. So people are going to be like, hey, we're winning and Kyle Allen's at the helm. So, you know, he must be the reason why we're winning. We can win with Cam Newton, so just leave him out to dry or whatever. The other thing is next year is Cam Newton's last contract year, but we don't have any money for him on the books. So we could let him walk in free agency and not pay $20 million, so we could use that money to sign other people. But my thing is you're going to let a guy walk for nothing, who your franchise quarterback. It just doesn't make any sense to me. And then the people who are like, well, you could trade him during the off season, but I'm like, well, if our own fans don't think he's good enough to play for us, why would anybody give us high draft picks for him? It's like a weird, like, it doesn't make any sense to me. So
yeah, it's like
I just say we just pay him the $20 million, let him see, because $20 million is still less than the average starting quarterback salary now, because it's up to like $35 million a year.
Yep.
So it's like, just pay the guy 1 year. If he sucks, you know, get rid of him. And I'm the biggest Cam Newton fan. I'd hate to see him leave, but I mean, if he's never going to be the old Cam Newton, we have to move on. But
sure,
I mean, you don't need to rush to make that decision right now.
Yeah, exactly. And like you said, you have that luxury. You have a luxury of like waiting another year. I mean, you know, eventually you'll have to pay Christian McCaffrey like God money and just like drain the banks. But you know what? That's fine. In that case, you know what? It's worth it for that.